Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase, and today we have a Davros custom. This is Davros from the Magician's Apprentice / Witch's Familiar Series 9 opener. So overall it is just a standard Davros figure, but I've made a few small tweaks and changes. The Davros figure itself is actually one of the original Davros releases from Series 4. Obviously we did have the more recent release actually from the Witch's Familiar, but the reason I use this one is because I actually had this hanging around in the bottom of a box in bits. I don't know what I originally intended to use it for, I've completely forgotten, but it was long since before Series 9 aired. And I found it again recently, and I couldn't remember what I was going to do with it, so I thought, well, I might put it together and use it as a Magician's Apprentice Witch's Familiar Davros, because by that time, as you might be able to see on the body, it's got a few sort of scuff marks sort of here and there on him. And I just thought it added to the look of him being sort of a bit more old and worn. Onto that, I then obviously added the black rings around the hemispheres, just again to make them stand out a bit. And then on top of that, I added a coat of silver, because obviously I'd painted them over black. And then, along with the silver on the chair, I gave him a sort of a darker wash, again to make the chair look a bit more worn and older. And then that's pretty much all I've done for the chair. For Davros, obviously as you can see, his head sort of tilted off to one side as it was in the episode, you know, where he's sort of slightly more again decrepit and can't, you know, hold himself up, or at least that's his act, depending on how you want to view the episode. So for that, I basically took Davros's head off, sculpted a bit of milliput onto the bottom of the neck, and then positioned it in the right place, so as it dried, it set the head into a place where it would hold that position. It is glued into place, you can't move the head because it would have been difficult to do that. And then I also gave his head an overall repaint, just to make him look a little bit more sort of jaundice yellow he sort of had in that episode. I did consider adding on some eyes, but I have no problem with the eyes in the episode personally. I am one of those people that doesn't mind it, but I just don't think it would look right for the custom, so I didn't add that on. But you know, it came out really well. And then just as a final little finishing touch, and I hope this is going to come up on camera and the camera's not going to go out of focus, if you look here in his hand, you can in fact see that he has the 11th or 12th Doctor's sonic screwdriver in his hand. Again, just as a little added extra accessory for the figure. It just looked quite nice, and it sort of sits under his hand nicely, and again makes him stand out a bit more from, you know, the normal new series Davroses. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, it is a nice simple custom to do, but you know, if you find yourself with some spare Davroses or have a spare Davros, it's a great little one to do. It's a very nice difference. I know this is something that I think people would have preferred to see in the B&M set. You know, I quite like the one we got in the B&M set. The only things that I think I would have done slightly different would have just been the paint on his face was just a little bit off. And you know, I know people would have liked to have had the proper, you know, leaning to one side head and things like that. But again, I appreciate that would have been a lot of effort for a very small variation that couldn't have really been used anywhere else. You know, so just, you know, the little thing like just changing the flesh tone on the B&M figure and maybe dulling down the chair a little bit, I think would have been nice. But you know, it's a great one to do. It's a nice simple one to do, and it's especially good for people, as I said, who might have a Davros spare and maybe want to update the Witch's Familiar custom that they already have, or the Witch's Familiar figure, sorry, they have already from that set into a custom version. But that brings to a close another custom figure showcase. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot, and be sure to the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.